coming to you live from Kenny's basement apartment on this crisp Tuesday night, where I am dumber after having watched Twisters and am still waiting on Kenny's congratulations for beating him in fantasy football. It's Sports Allegedly.
Welcome. Thank you again for joining us for this episode of Sports Allegedly on the 19th day of our Lord on November 2024. Almost Thanksgiving, and the only turkey here is one to the right of me, and that'd be Sean. Yeah, you did beat me. It was not a good week for me. And my generational fantasy team, who's still in first place in our whole league of 12.
Yeah, because everybody else lost too.
And that's fine. And that's what happens. Let me just get to that. Kirk Cousins, I really bet the farm on you this year. I didn't pick you as my quarterback, but I picked Drake London. I put Kyle Pitts, and you suck. And I'm going to make a prediction right now. We talked about, as we look at our picks from earlier, Tampa had a really tough schedule at the beginning of the year. They're 4-6, I think, or whatever. They win that division, and I think they make it back to the playoffs.
Because Atlanta's falling apart.
Yes!
And I have to say that Kenny and I are both running the calendar, and we would have been on yesterday, but I had a jaw toothache and...
He's a vagina, but anyway.
Couldn't. Sorry.
Well, let's start with this week in the NFL. If you'd pull that.
You want to do NFL?
Yeah,
first?
let's do NFL
okay.
first, since we kind of led into that.
I'm noticing a trend here of what the hell. You can't predict it week to week. It's getting as college football is just as bad.
It's fun because NFL, there's the parodies there. I mean, that's what.
Because
they want that.
We needed 5.5 points for the Packers to beat the Bears.
Yeah, and then the Bears come out and we're like, oh, hey, we fired our OC, and which their coach is next. I'm just letting you know. Mark it down. Eberflus is fired. He's done.
He's already gone through 2 offensive coordinators this season.
And he should be. He was an idiot. It was a bad hire to begin with.
Great defense.
He's
I don't realize it's a great defense.
Better. It's gotten better. But, no, I thought that was I thought the Bears played really well. I thought Caleb Williams played one of his better games, and they still lost.
Here's a game that I believe that we missed, the Steelers-Ravens. I don't believe that we had the Steelers beating the Ravens.
We did not. And you know what? What is the deal with? If we'll talk about that game, what is the deal? You know, Lamar Jackson just can't play the Steelers.
Players are getting fired.
Was it 1-1? He's like 1 out of 7, or I mean, it's just. And they're talking him MVP. Can we stop that talk right now?
Who?
Lamar.
Who? Oh,
I mean,
you were all about it last season.
Last season was different. He's 7-4 right now.
I get it.
He ain't any good. I mean, it's just not, you know, and then plus you got Derrick Henry to make your team even better, and you're 7-4, and you can't beat the Steelers. And granted, the Steelers have a great defense. I mean, they are. But Derrick Henry, I think that was he didn't clear 100, and I think they
got 65 yards. He was the leading rusher for the game.
Yeah, but as he should be.
What happened at the end of this Lions-Jaguars game? Was it something that Peterson was saying some weird shit?
Don't care about the Lions.
But
Goff throws 5 interceptions last week, kills my parlay.
Yeah.
Now he's like, let me throw for 4, miss only 5, we'll score 52. Yeah, cool. No,
Jay Cutler way better than Lamar.
Lions are the best.
Jay Cutler better.
Lions are the best team in definitely in the NFC. Saints coach, I think he gets his 3rd win since as interim.
And he stays.
Taysom Hill, after I cut him on my fantasy team, shows up. Or was that last year? I don't
As
remember.
the running back, he shows up for 138 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yeah, you cut him.
I thought the Colts. Looking at
and
the
I left Jerry Jeudy on the bench.
Hey,
for some reason.
He's had a very good year.
He's had a turnaround with Watson gone.
And the Browns are just horrible. That's another coach that's fired.
You do make the show.
And do what?
Says Kenny should acknowledge that I make the show.
So no, I think that I think that that's going to be another coach firing that's coming. Coach of the year right now, like I said, I think we talked about last 2 weeks. Sean Payton's going to win Coach of the year for the Broncos. 6-5. Nix has looked better than we thought he would.
Well, had a rough start, had a rough beginning, and has settled in.
Well, no, but I mean, we knew the defense was going to be good for the Broncos. We talked about that last year. But Nix has played way better than anyone would have ever thought.
He's played where I thought he was going to.
I said that. No. Oh, you thought he was going to be borderline rookie of the year? Stop.
Not borderline rookie of the year. I knew that he was going to play better.
No.
He spent 8 years in college.
We trashed him coming out. I mean, we didn't think he was that great.
We didn't trash him. You trashed him.
Okay, so you thought that
because I said I wanted him, Penix, or Daniels over Caleb Williams.
Well, we all thought Daniels would be the best, and he's somewhat looking that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Kenny's a believer.
49ers are done. They missed their opportunity last year.
Hey, offensive line has gone to crap.
Hey, let's just sign Brock Purdy to a big fatty contract.
And he will.
Yeah, and then what are you gonna do? I mean, listen, teams, look at Dallas, how they fucked everything up. Don't sign average quarterbacks to contracts that you think they have to have.
Joe Burrow got it.
Joe Burrow's good.
And then got injured.
No, but he's good.
Oh, my God.
He's way above average.
I remember when he went when he went to the Super Bowl, you were just like, he's terrible. I hate this guy.
I didn't say he was terrible. I just
you hated Joe Burrow.
No, I don't hate him. I just said he'd never
Preston,
go back.
I need Creston or Zach here.
I never said that. I never said I hated him. I mean, he's got talent. I just said, but he's got some of the best wide receivers, and he had Joe Mixon. And look what happens when you don't have Joe Mixon to dump the ball.
But also, look what happened. They ran into the Chargers. So, what was it? Jamar Chase has had 400 yards plus in the last 2 games, and gets in, starts playing the Chargers, and T. Higgins, I forgot what Jamar Chase ended up with.
T. Higgins had a good game.
T. Higgins had a great game because everybody was focusing on Jamar.
As they do.
But the Chargers, and I picked the Chargers to cover that spread.
Let's talk about Jamar when you get done talking about that.
Yeah.
And I say Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh is going to be the other. Yeah, he's free agent after this year. Yeah. They have not re-signed him. So talk a little bit. Let's talk about the game, but we can talk about Jamar Chase, and I've got a prediction.
Well, I mean, the closing was Houston just killing Dallas. So.
Let's talk about Jamar. Where's he going?
Because
there's gonna be 2 options that are coming down here. Is now obviously T. Higgins they say is gone. He's leaving because he's not going to stay. But then you think, okay, is it Zach Taylor's time to be fired?
If they don't re-sign Jamar Chase,
yeah. Well, no. Now see, you say that he's an offensive guy. The Bengals' problem hadn't been on the offense, but you let Hendrickson go. What did Hendrickson do? Go look at Hendrickson on the defense for San Diego. What was his stat line in that game?
I don't see him.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see Hendricks.
Really?
Eli Apple's on that team.
No, he still plays. Ugh.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah, Henderson might have been injured for that.
No, I thought he played. Hold on. But anyway, what I was gonna say. Oh no, I'm sorry. Is Trey still at the Bengals? Go back down to that. Is he a free agent? There he is, right
Trey
there.
Hendrickson.
He actually played pretty good. No, I was talking about free agents that potentially were going to go. Jamar Chase is gone. He's mentioned they've asked him about the end of game leads that are blown, can't seal the deal, and he said, "Hey, ask the coaching staff, ask Zach, whatever." You see his hands up in the air a little bit.
Do you think he's going to bolt to? Is he going to go to? Because I know that the Ravens. Do they have enough money to pay him?
No.
Do the Lions? Because we're looking at team. Do the Chargers? The Chargers.
Yes,
would love
Chargers
to have him.
need him. That would actually be a good.
Because
fit.
remember, before the season, they dumped all of their receivers.
Do the Saints make a run at him just because he went to LSU and just throw awful money at him? Who needs him is Dallas. They need a quarterback more. No, Chase, I think. Well, one or two things are going to happen. Zach Taylor's going to be fired.
Does Washington have money? Jamar Chase.
They do
Daniels?
have money, actually.
Jamar Chase, Jaden Daniels.
Washington does have money, actually.
That would be a nice little LSU team up right there.
Zach
Taylor's too much like Kenny. What are you doing?
I was going to look at the cap space.
Oh.
That's
I remember
coming.
go to Spot Rack. That's our favorite.
Oh, yeah, that is. Let's see. What do we got here?
Thanks.
Anyway.
I don't know what he's doing over there.
No,
He's
I don't like the Bengals at all. I just, there's something about them. You know, Mixon was a huge loss.
Yeah, and you're seeing that. You're definitely seeing that this season.
Mixon actually could be considered.
Why they let him go?
Would it be unhealthy? Would it be unruly of me to say he could be the best running back in the league right now? Joe Mixon.
No, because he's been carrying that team, and he got
him and Henry's probably right there. And Henry, he goes against a good defense. He didn't play well, especially, and it's not just a good defense against Pittsburgh. They don't play very well at all.
So Washington has $24 million in cap.
Go to 25. What's a projected 25?
Okay.
I think you'll see Washington up there. There we go.
$103 million for Washington. Yeah. I don't see him going to Las Vegas. They're going to be pulling in Shadur Sanders or.
What about a Jamar
Ward.
Chase back with Justin Jefferson at Minnesota? Holy shit! Keep Sam Darnold.
They've got the 76. Well, you remember, JJ is still there. JJ's injured for the season.
Who?
JJ McCarthy.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, he's still there. But
you keep Sam Darnold on the cheap, and you talk about bringing him in.
Zach Taylor be delivering Kitty's Little Debbie route next year. They'll be talking all offense.
Probably so. But no, what? And then you've got the Chargers there. You pick a team. If you look at Jamar Chase, you pick a team that's got a good quarterback. I don't think he's going to go to Chicago, but you could see Minnesota. You could see the Chargers.
Yeah, Chicago's still stacked.
And then Washington. Make a play for the best, and I think Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in the league right now. Right, him and Jefferson are the two best.
Yes,
hands down. And they've had Jefferson probably better because he's had less of a quarterback, and that's a credit to Joe Burrow. But when you're focused on everybody else,
well, that's a credit to Jefferson having a less quarterback. And
yes, but I'm giving Joe Burrow credit too.
Well, when he's got a line.
Let's go look down at the bottom of that. Who are we looking? Is that the 49ers that are going to roll
Tampa's down there. No. New Orleans overspent. They're at negative $77 million coming in.
Yeah,
Cleveland still screwed.
Oh, and they're 2-8 this year.
Seattle, I don't know what they did to get negative $1 million. Of course, Miami's coming in. They're going to be cutting guys relatively soon. And then just at $8 million, $9 million, Buffalo, Atlanta. Baltimore's at 14. Kansas City has 20 mil.
That's pretty normal when you're looking at projected there. So, but you look at the teams that are bad. Dallas is low.
Cleveland just falls off.
Dallas, Miami's not that good on. They need a defense. New Orleans and Cleveland.
I know, but can they keep the guys that they have on offense together?
Who?
Miami.
Yeah, everybody's re-signed there.
I thought just 3 of them. I thought Tyreek was coming up.
No, I think they're all signed.
Tyreek.
I don't know. What's your over there on the?
I don't know.
Yeah, see what can you go over on that?
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Always gets a workout bonus. Cool.
The $3 million option, 100,000 workout, a $6 million.
Just where's your fucking years for that?
I think we're gonna have to go look at the actual
and you forget about Jalen
himself.
Ramsey still there too.
I think we have to go look at let's go look at Tyreek himself.
No, they're all paid. There you go. Up there, 3 years, $90 million. That's right. Because he got re-signed.
Well, right, but who's the quarter? Who was it that was holding out? No, to his brain can't take another season. Who was the guy that was holding out that they were like, we want to get him signed to an extension, and he's still got 7 years on his contract? That might have been baseball.
Miami? It must be baseball.
It might have been baseball or.
Let's go back to that week 11 though. Anthony Richardson. We joked about him earlier because I thought that you thought he'd be better than Bo Nix, and he's got the talent. But I thought he had the best game of the year this year, and they beat the Jets.
No.
you talk about.
No, Anthony Richardson's had a terrible sophomore.
No,
season.
but he had a good game.
I know, but
against
he's
the
had a
Jets.
terrible sophomore season. And C.J. Stroud, you've seen C.J. Stroud without Nico Collins. Tell Kenny that's Zach for some money to get me my own screen.
There has been the interesting thing about the interesting thing about the Texans is they have not looked good at all.
I'm the one that has to send money to Zach.
Except Joe Mixon, and like I said, I think he's not going to win the MVP, but I bet he's 5, 6, 7. I think he's going to get some votes, and he deserves it because he's had a hell of a year with all the injuries for the Texans. Seahawks with a big win against the rival 49ers, both 5-5.
That was a crazy game going into that last.
It was good at the end.
That defense isn't the same defense that got them to the Super Bowl.
No, and the funny thing is Geno Smith still continues to win, and Njigba and DK Metcalf, I mean, they just are there, and they're so good all the time.
Are they about to have a DK Metcalf issue?
I don't think so. And then, of course, we can talk about, if you get off that, we can talk about the Bills. Is this the Bills' year? Is this the best Bills team?
We say it every season, and it never comes to fruition.
But is it the best Bills team?
Is it? I mean, they're doing pretty well. Like I said, they dropped all their receivers.
But you got Amari Cooper.
Came in with
Shakir was hurt.
Well, they ended up with Amari Cooper.
Yes. Yeah.
But
I mean, is this the best Bills team we've seen?
Okay, so that DK Metcalf issue, he has a potential out for 2025.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
But as I'm saying, he could be on the market.
So when we talk about the Bills being the best, they just beat the Chiefs.
But the Chiefs have been trying to lose all season.
Yeah, the
Chiefs were the worst
They remind me of the Miami Hurricane in college
9-0. They were the worst 9-0 team.
No, they were like Miami.
They just kept trying to lose. Yeah.
Waiting to lose.
Waiting on that team to just come in and beat them. And
so the Dolphins won. Currently, so far this year. They have lost to the Ravens bad, which was a bad loss. Texans beat them by 3, and then is that how many losses? Just 2, right? Yes.
For who?
For
Buffalo?
Bills, yes.
Yeah, just 2.
So now it's the next. Listen to the next games here.
For Buffalo?
Yeah, 49ers at the Bills.
That's a loss.
Bills at Rams.
For Niners.
And then Bills at Lions. So the next 3 games are critical. Then you play the Patriots, Jets, and Patriots. What a fucking finish.
A way to end the season.
So at least, here's the deal, at least they're going to win 12 is how I look at it. 10.5, we had them at the under. Why did we have that? Just not filling the Josh Allen.
Well, I think we had Miami in.
We had the Jets and
we
Miami.
Had Jets doing better. We had Miami in. We had Tua in for the whole season.
Well, yeah, and Miami is going.
Remember we had them splitting with Miami, and they took 2 from Miami. They took both games from Miami.
It's gonna be fun to see that Buffalo,
Baby pack bitch schedule.
Pittsburgh, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, probably the Chargers. Even maybe
Chargers are sneaking in.
Even maybe the Broncos could sneak in there with the Miami Dolphins. That's going to be the Chiefs, 2 areas there.
So the Chiefs' remaining schedule at the Panthers.
Win.
Vegas at home.
Tough.
Chargers
whatever
will possibly be a win for the Chargers.
But it's home. At Brown, win.
At Cleveland.
Get the Texans.
Then to go to the Texans. Steelers probably a loss, and Broncos probably a loss.
2 tough games to end the season, but you got some cream puffs in there though as well. So the the number 1 seed is going to be interesting in the AFC. We obviously know who the 1 seed in the NFC is going to be. It's going to be the Lions, but everything is still up in the air for the 1 seed. And you talk about getting that vibe.
You've been dog-hussing Philly, but Philly's been playing tough recently. Philly's been beating teams that they should not be beating.
Like who? Who should
they shouldn't have won that Washington game, but they ended up taking it.
Who shouldn't they have beat?
Well, they shouldn't have won the Washington game, and look how the 26-18.
I thought Washington had a horrible game. The Cowboys sucked. Jaguars sucked. Bengals had played like shit. So you got Rams, Ravens. That could go 0-2 right there. Buccaneers beat them. Boom. And then,
But yeah, I know.
but then you go back. Look at Rams, Ravens, Steelers, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. I could see 3 to 4 losses there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking at least 3 losses,
but I'm not saying that's the Rams are a weird team. What's their record right now?
the Rams.
Yeah,
something stupid. It's
like 5-4, 5-5, 6.
500, I believe they might be at.
That's what I would think they are.
Yeah, the Rams are 500.
Yeah.
Everybody in the AFC West is at 500, or NFC West, except for Arizona, who is going to come off a bye week.
Probably lose. That's what they do. No, that's just
Come off the bye with Seattle.
You watch.
And then Minnesota, and then Seattle again.
Yeah.
And then they got a cream puff of New England and Carolina, and then you close the season with the Rams and the Niners.
Damn, that is not easy.
No.
Not easy at
And
all.
I'm still scared that Cliff Kingsbury is going to be the new head coach of the Bears.
It's quite possible.
I'm so scared.
Quite possible.
I'm so scared.
So talking about,
Oh, and Jets just fired their GM.
and that was an odd deal because he's had some pretty good draft picks. It's just it's a complete overhaul.
And so the backup quarterback is you either play Cooper Rush or you play Trey Lance.
We talking about for the.
I just
Dallas?
asked a question of who's responsible for the quarterback backup.
Oh, no, it's Cooper Rush and he's not any good. Dak Prescott not any good, but Cooper Rush is a lot cheaper. Dallas has made their bed, and they're going to be.
Dan Quinn should have taken over that team.
They are going to. Dan Quinn knew better.
Washington
is a better job.
It is because new owner's trying to do everything he can to win.
Yeah, and you ain't going to have Dak Prescott on a 6-year forever contract.
But the other thing is you're not going to get that in Dallas because Jerry's. I don't know.
Dallas
Jerry's
is not any good.
Jerry's in the early stages of dementia.
No, it's.
I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
No, it's just. They are done. You watch that team of Dallas, and they are non-playoff team for the next 3 years.
Well, you also see that without Dan,
including
that defense isn't carrying them.
Oh, Dan didn't do great in some of those games at the end of the year, but it's not about the defense. It's just the
defense carried them and got them wins.
Yeah, but the offense is so inept. It's almost like watching OU play football. Your defense can only do so much because your offense is so inept. And you have, in my opinion, top 5 wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, I forgot his name's Dakota.
So that is what.
CeeDee played his ass off last night. CeeDee did everything.
But you can tell his frustration. He just resigned.
Totally.
You talk about Dak.
We'll get to OU in our
You talk about Dak coming back from his I think it was the ankle break or the ankle whatever. He didn't look the same mobility wise this year. Now he's got his hamstring. The legs are failing him already. It wasn't his brain and arm that made him a good fucking football player. It was his legs. He had the mobility. And he's just not any good. And it was a horrible decision, and it's going to be a time when he's either traded or they're going to eat a bunch of dead money. And by that time, Jerry's probably just going to sit there and go, "Well, I'll blame that on Steven." It was bad. I can't just say bad, that. Bad, and bad.
I can't say.
It was just bad. It was just bad. No, it was bad.
No. What?
So, their trajectory is lower than the Giants, and that's scary.
Here's the thing. Who's up for the number 1 pick? Because right now...
Jacksonville, Giants.
Who do you think is going to get it? Because right now, Dallas is literally a game out.
Well, I think that you could look at the Shadur Sanders be a possibility. Do you draft that quarterback?
So Carolina's at 3-7.
Yeah.
So they've already played
It's the Giants and...
So the Giants, the Jags, and the Raiders are all at 2-8. But Dallas is sitting here at a nice 3-7 as well. So you forget that. You forget that they're setting
Don't
right
forget about
there.
the Titans and Browns, too, though.
Oh, yeah, the Titans. I forgot the Titans were in that.
Currently, right now, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Cleveland, Giants, Vegas, New England.
Who,
Jets,
I have or Kenny has?
Carolina, Dallas. Dallas will get a top 10.
Try to keep it clean on this show.
Dallas will get a top 10 pick. So, Vegas surprises me a little bit. They have a little talent, but you come in with Minshew or you come in with O'Donnell.
Well, you banked
is it
everything.
O'Connell or O'Donnell? O'Connell.
Remember, he was in that movie that we were like, wait, is that the same guy?
So Brock Bowers was a hell of a draft pick, generational. Not going to win Rookie of the Year because the team's so bad, but statistically looks really good for a tight end.
He does. He is the best.
I called that last year. But you went into a season almost like you were going to say, this is just a pass. Our quarterback's not that good.
You hedged everything.
Don't give me the poor man Baker Mayfield as guard Minshew, because that's
I'm not
not at all.
You got rid
Adams was traded.
You got rid of Carr. You traded Adams.
As you should. Carr ain't any good either.
Well, right, and then you say, okay, well, Gardner Minshew is going to be our man. Even though you tried to pull everything for Aiden O'Connell last year.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean,
I don't know what's going on. I honestly don't know what's going on in Las Vegas.
Hey, look at the.
You've got no running back.
No.
You let your really good running back go.
I'm gonna give you. Let's talk about the top 15 draft picks just right now, and we're gonna talk about what drives this league, and it's always quarterback. Okay, Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence. I've said he sucked the whole time.
Yes,
he's had some injury. Trash.
Kidding, it's Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Tennessee doesn't have a quarterback. They're not any good. Cleveland, Watson, I failed on that. Bad for me. I thought he would be good there. And
you did.
He was one of the best quarterbacks when he left Houston. You think about that. They lost that playoff game.
Yeah, when he was racing bitches.
Had the lead against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, the year they won the Super Bowl.
I know, when they was raping bitches.
So then we move on to Giants, nothing. Vegas, nothing. New England, nothing. Jets, nothing. Carolina, nothing. Dallas, nothing. New Orleans, nothing.
Why is Chicago in there?
And then you got Cincinnati.
Whoa, we're below Tampa.
Who has Burrow, which is fine because they suck at defense. Tua was hurt for 12. Tampa, Baker's, and our best wide receivers have been hurt for a while.
You lost Otten.
And then you've got...
Or not Otten, you lost Godwin.
You've got Chicago because Williams isn't that good. He's too young, and he screws up things. Indianapolis, Seattle, the Rams, and San Francisco. So you look at the Rams in San Francisco, and you think, oh, they're right there in the middle of that draft. Here, folks, here's the problem with this draft.
Hold on.
It's trash.
Seattle,
there's nobody any good in this draft.
Seattle, Rams, and you know who's good coming out of this? Offensive linemen and defensive linemen.
Depth. Trade down. If you're a GM right now in this coming up draft, if you're 10 or below, you trade out. Wait till next year. You can get more value. I mean, you got Shadur, you've got the Boise State guy, but who's going to draft a running back that high?
I saw him
Probably
going.
Dallas at 9.
Him going.
No,
I
I'm
saw
just
him
telling
going
you.
to the Rams or something like that.
No, Dallas will snatch that shit.
But I saw Ashton Gentry going like way down at like number 29. I guess who's at 29? I think that was who.
He ain't gonna fall that far.
But that's what I saw. It was a pre
desperation, seeing teams that suck, and there's been a bunch of them. Because really the NFL this year, you look at the highs and the lows. Usually there's a lot of parity. It's been a lot of lows and highs. I mean, it is. I mean, you think about the Steelers, the Ravens look good. Then you got the Bengals and Browns suck. You've got Houston looks good. The rest of that, Colts are 5-6, and they're a horrible team. You got the Chiefs and Chargers, the Broncos. That's been the better division. The Raiders suck. And then you've got, it's everything. NFC North is probably the hardest. I think Sean flipped down just a little bit to that one. Everybody could be in except the Bears, and that'll pull 3. And then you've got the NFC West, who's mediocrity.
Yeah, but they're beating up on each other, and they could sneak at least 2 teams in.
So San Francisco.
It looks like Tampa might be out with their 2 games. They're 2 games back of the Falcons.
That division's won for us. Our schedule is soft heavy the rest of the year.
Hold on.
Atlanta is not. Just letting you know.
Hold on. Hold
it.
Okay, Chargers lost. Vikings possible win because the Vikings
are a loss.
The Vikings are either on or off.
It's a loss. It's at the Vikings.
Raiders are a win. Giants a win. Commanders a loss. Panthers win.
3 losses. Easy.
I'm saying this.
For sure.
I'm saying the Vikings is a 500.
Vikings are a good team. 3 losses for sure. And one of them other ones could be a loss too. But I'm just saying 3 for sure. Now go to Tampa's schedule. All we got to do is win 5.
All you got to do is win 5.
And and hopefully, I think Evans is going to be back.
Evans is back next week.
Next week after the bye week.
Thank Christ.
Now our schedule kind of softens up after the tough of that.
So coming off the bye, your Giants win, Panthers win, Raiders win, Chargers loss, Cowboys should be a win. But the Cowboys and Tampa have played
Stop!
big games.
We win all of them but one. We win the division.
Saints.
Win.
Watch the Saints end up beating them at the end of the season.
It's a win.
Watch the Saints end up beating them at the end of the season.
They will have already given up. Their coach is fired. This new guy is trying to be everything. It's not going to happen. Tampa wins that division, goes to the playoffs.
Oh, Baker's definitely going to be dragging his bag across somebody's face when Mike Evans is back.
Come on back.
Because everybody's covering K. Dotton.
Yeah, I guess.
They know. We'll just cover K. Dotton. Nobody else in the damn team can catch.
NFC West is going to be the interesting one for me because every team is about average. I like the Cardinals one week, and then I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's the Rams I like. I don't like the 49ers at all. They're done.
Oh, yeah.
They missed their window. Brock Purdy's going to sign for a big contract, and they're toast. Shanahan's going to get fired.
The way that they're doing it doesn't look like it. It looks like he's going to get a mediocre contract, have to go win a Super Bowl. But he needs to fix that defense. That defense has just been – it's not – bring Steve Wilkes back. I don't know what in the hell's going on.
Well, it's one of those deals. Did they make 2 Super Bowls out of 3 or something like that?
Yeah.
I know last year they lost.
Well, you remember that year the Cards actually made it to the playoffs.
I just don't think. I think
with Kingsbury as the coach.
We
had high hopes for that team.
No, we've just talked about the San Francisco 49ers as the timeline was short.
And you saw it shortened, like the offensive line, the defense.
Yes.
Because you lost your best defensive coordinator.
Yes.
You didn't bring a good defensive coordinator back. Well, you brought in Steve Wilkes. But, with all the injuries, then you start getting rid of guys. Brock Purdy's not wasted money. Everybody needs to stop with that.
Well, he's not wasted money now, but he will be.
God, 4 straight losses for Tampa. And
that was
didn't Mike Evans go out in this game right here?
Yes, and you look at how close they were. Should have beat the Falcons.
10 points.
Chiefs was bad.
5
49ers
points.
was real bad. Yeah.
7 points. 3 points.
That's back. Nick Sorensen is the defensive coordinator, 3rd season with the 49ers.
Yeah, he's not doing a very good job.
Brian Griese's their quarterback coach. Cool.
The Brian Griese?
The Brian Griese.
The Brian Griese.
Yes.
All right, so what are we looking for? You want to look at next week's games?
Yeah, let's look at next week's games.
See what we got. See if we got any juicy. Where are they going to go next week? Where's game day next week, Kenny?
It's obviously at game day for the NFL. I don't know.
That's just a game day.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland, terrible matchup. Minnesota, Chicago. That's not going to do anything. I'm not seeing anything really good here.
What do you mean?
Game wise. All right, so you've got Atlanta, Buffalo, Cincinnati, New Orleans, New York Jets, and Jacksonville all on a bye. Best game is probably going to be Monday night. It's going to be Baltimore, Los Angeles. It's going to be the McKinney Bowl. What is that guy's name?
I think San Francisco at Green Bay is a pretty good.
Matt Campbell's fingers do still smell like Brock Purdy.
I think Lafleur.
Okay, I'll give you that. Arizona Seattle game might be fun.
That's gonna be close, and I think Seattle wins. And see, that's the thing that Arizona, if they want to show that they're a big boy team, they win that game.
Yeah.
But I think they lose it. That's just how they do.
And who's that coach? Steichen or?
No, Steichen is isn't Steichen at the Colts?
The Colts. I can never remember but they both start with
Connor.
S's.
No. God.
There was Sirianni, Steichen, and.
I thought it was Connor or some shit. But anyway, Dallas at.
Boring.
I don't know. Do you think they give up, anything?
Should we start benching people so they don't have to?
Gannon. Yeah, Gannon. Yeah.
You start benching people so they don't get them hurt.
Go up a little bit.
Dude, it's boring. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, garbage.
Yeah,
Minnesota,
there's a lot
Chicago.
of bad games.
Minnesota, Chicago might be fun to watch, but you've got Detroit at Indy. You've got New England going to Miami. You've got Tampa going to New York, Giants. You've got Dallas going into Washington. Kansas City going to Carolina. Who thought that would be a great game? Tennessee's going into Houston. Denver's going into Vegas. It is gray and boring. San Francisco going to Green Bay, which might be a fun game as well. So it looks like the afternoon. I'll give you afternoon, evening for Sunday, Monday. That's it. Those are the best games of the season.
Philly and the Rams is good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That whole afternoon.
Yeah, the morning schedule sucks.
Yeah. Sans the Denver, Las
What's the
Vegas.
Thursday game?
Oh, that Thursday game was the Pittsburgh-Cleveland game.
Oh, God.
That's what I just said.
Damn.
Bad.
No shit.
Bad. So, our predictors for who do you think is going to actually take the top pick
You mean the draft?
in the draft? Who do you believe right now, with week 12 coming around the corner? Who do you think?
It really feels like the Giants and not Jacksonville. There was another one besides the Giants. Who else was up there?
Cleveland was up there.
Cleveland is the other one. Yes.
But remember, Carolina and Dallas are right behind them at 3-7.
No, I don't know if Cleveland wins another game.
Well, does Carolina win another damn game?
Possible.
I mean,
weak division.
Hold on, we'll see what Carolina's got. Carolina ends up with the Chiefs, Buccaneers, Eagles, Cowboys, Cardinals, Buccaneers, Falcons.
There's some winnable games there.
It's
probably won't, but I mean
it's possible to take one
the
from
Browns,
the Bucs.
though. You know, I mean the Browns suck too.
I think the Browns have a harder schedule to get through.
Well, the division is so good, and obviously we were wrong about Pittsburgh. You know, Zach has given us shit about that.
Oh, I know. I've seen the text. And by the way, I kept wondering how that text chain was getting through and me not noticing. All right, so
any wins there?
Cleveland's got Steelers, Broncos, Steelers, Chiefs, Bengals. That's a possible.
No.
Didn't they beat them early in the season?
It's at the Bengals. No, they don't win another game.
Oh, no, they lost.
Yeah.
Oh, they beat Jacksonville.
And they might win one randomly,
Baltimore.
but
they beat Baltimore at home.
Well, they beat the shitty Jaguars.
Yeah. So you think Cleveland's got it?
Yep. Cleveland or the Giants would be the two picks. And potentially both could be looking at new coaches.
Oh God.
And
Stefanski.
who do you...
Tell Zach to go to bed. Where's Zach?
And
Zach should be in bed.
Who do you...
He's an hour ahead of us.
Who do you...
He's got work.
Who do you draft?
Oh, for either team?
Yeah.
You're going for a quarterback.
Giants, maybe.
They've got to do it in Cleveland. They've got to pull the trigger. You're not getting anywhere with Watson. So Shedeur and Cam are the top two quarterbacks that are coming out.
Cam, do not even mention him in the top.
I'm just saying they're the top two that have been put out there. Oh, Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel's going to win a national title this year.
He ain't going to do that.
Uh-oh.
Ain't going to do it. I'm just letting you know.
I bet you money, but our money goes to other things, and I can't bet you for anything.
No, they ain't winning. No, they're not that good either.
I can't bet Kenny money because all of our money goes.
So yeah, Cam
gambling.
looks like he's up there.
I told you Cam was up there.
Shedeur's bottom a little bit. You're looking at some, Travis Hunter's probably number one. That's who I would probably draft, honestly.
No Carson Beck?
No. Will Johnson is a very
okay. So you're gonna sit in New York and just go through mediocrity, or are you gonna sit in Cleveland and go, well, we just
Cleveland doesn't need more defense; they need offense.
I know they need a running back, but
what do you do with Hunter? Do you put him at defense? Put him at corner? Do you put him at? You could do both. I mean, he's played with both.
You let him decide. So he has to enter as one, but he's allowed to play multiple.
I think what you do, honestly, if you're up there, who did I say I thought was
Will Howard. Oh, we forgot about Will.
Yeah, that's not happening. You know what I would do actually here is, who I really like in this draft is I like Luther Burden. I know he's kind of a bitch at times. The
Oh.
wide receiver from
Yeah,
Missouri.
no, I know he is.
I like him.
He is.
Got the talent. You know, if you want Shadur Sanders, he's going to fall. Ashton Genty's going to fall. If you're loving Quinn Ewers, okay, cool. He's going to fall. I think that's a horrible pick if anybody picks him.
You pick Quinn Ewers, you are an idiot.
But you know, but you look at.
Welcome to Dallas, Quinn Ewers.
But McMillan, the wide receiver from Arizona, I know that he's had a bad year.
Quinn Ewers in Dallas.
But he's 6'5".
Can you see it?
No.
Quinn Ewers in
no,
Dallas?
I don't think they draft a quarterback. I think they have to look like they're in it to win it because they've already fucked up.
Well, I'm going to say.
I'm
going to say this is McCartney's last year.
Oh, for sure.
He's done. He's absolutely. Sure. Yes, we know that Luther Burden was OU, but he's dead to us as well. But we do like him.
But I'm talking. NFL,
this is after he leaves Missouri.
Well, all right. We're going to segue into some
college football. So we had nothing happen with OU and OSU.
Theyk God.
OU's coming. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, OU's coming off a bye, and they've got 2 hard games to go. You got Alabama coming to town, and I think you go to
LSU.
Yeah, you go down into the swamp,
which is winnable.
Well, from the way that LSU's been playing, yeah. But explain to me this: Riddle me this. Ohio State's a dominant team, right? They're the allegedly most dominant team in the Big Ten. You only beat Northwestern 31-7. That should have been a blowout. Oregon goes into Wisconsin and somehow walks out with 3. South Carolina should have slaughtered Missouri. Because if you remember the Missouri team that we played and the South Carolina team that we played.
Late scores coming in from that.
Just what the hell was going on there? What else was? Texas 20-10 in Arkansas. I kind of expected that. I took Texas in our spreads, but I kind of shouldn't. I knew that Arkansas was going to Arkansas their way in.
Play good defense, just no offense.
Kansas blew our
Big 12
our
undefeated.
parlay.
Yep, and Big 12 undefeated. I mean, that was a huge.
They
loss.
had the game, and they were going to score, and then I watched that game.
BYU stupid.
Did you watch that game?
I did actually.
What
Why
the
did
shit
you throw
was
that
going
interception? Run the fucking ball.
What was going on at the end of that goddamn game?
Well, no, that was before halftime. They were running. Yes.
Right, but even at the end of the game was just like, what the hell's going on?
Let's knock off the love for Tennessee. I think Georgia's best team right now. Honestly, they look the best to me.
In the SEC or in college football total?
College football total. I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia wins it again, to be honest. Just because of the talent they have. I don't like Oregon because I've always, and I hate this, I don't want to shit on the kid.
I cannot say that.
Dylan Gabriel is not going to be.
And it was New Year's
not
when
gonna
I did
be,
that to that lady.
Not going to be a national championship, guy since.
I believe you cried on that couch.
Oh.
After I did that.
And then so then you look at Georgia, who I think looks to be the best. Ohio State's a
weird.
You're
leaving out Penn State with their dominant 100%.
I don't like Penn State either.
I know Penn State's weak. Notre Dame is weak.
And then Alabama would be the other one. I mean, I really think
I can't not get a beat on this Alabama team.
Well, they're going to beat the shit out of OU this week.
Good, bad. The
spread was what, 14 or 17 or something?
I haven't looked yet. I haven't.
Bet the farm on fucking Alabama.
How SMU's not the top team of 5. I don't even know how they're not in the playoffs.
Boise State looks better. They've had the one loss.
I got
SMU's
it.
had the one loss.
But I'm saying, SMU not.
They're close. They're close.
But I would put SMU over Boise.
I wouldn't right now. I wouldn't.
Texas A&M slaughtered New Mexico State. Arizona State pulling off an upset of 10 points in Kansas State.
I don't think that was really an upset.
It wasn't. I should have picked Arizona State.
I think Arizona State really is better than what we thought. Now, what's his face didn't play though? Scattaboo or Skidaboo or whatever.
Scaraboo.
Yeah,
Levitt. It was Levitt, wasn't it?
No. The running back. Go look at the box score and see. I don't think he played. Their best player in Arizona State didn't play, and they beat Kansas State. And Kansas State looked inept in offense.
Yeah, Scattaboo. He had 73 yards.
Okay. And he had some injury issues, so I didn't think he was going to play. But yeah, 8-2, 5-2. Arizona State plays BYU this
Tomorrow.
week,
This
Saturday.
God.
And that's going to be a huge implication for the Big 12.
Oh, that's coming in our picks. Don't worry about that.
Huge implications for that. And then, obviously, Colorado looks to be the Big 12 front runner. They have made big improvements. Washington State, which looks to be Arbuckle, looks to be the.
Hey, we'll see you later. Have a good evening.
Arbuckle looks to be the. Looks to be the future OC of OU. That's my pick. Has Ben Arbuckle from Washington State, and they go out and they blow.
Hey,
it.
we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, they go out. They blow it to New Mexico.
Yeah, Stanford was a bad loss. I forgot Bronco Mendenhall was at New Mexico after I was watching that game.
How did you forget that?
I just forgot
How
he
did
went
you
there.
forget
Yeah,
that? We talked about Bronco being there. Clemson, Pitt. We knew was going to be a tight game, and I'm guessing you took Pitt in your picks.
Yep.
Yeah, 4-point win for Clemson because Pittsburgh has been amazing.
No, I took Clemson and they didn't cover. Pitt would have been a cover.
No, I mean in the cards picks. Who'd you take to win?
Clemson.
Oh, okay. LSU goes down to the swamp and just falls flat on their face.
Hey, that's a good win for Florida, though. Billy Napier's 5-5. Can you pull up his schedule?
But they've already said that they're bringing him back.
Yeah, and that's good. And I've talked about him. I've stuck up for this guy.
You really have stuck up for Billy Napier.
And I thought that Florida had the toughest schedule. Oklahoma had one of the tougher schedules. But you need one more win to be bowl eligible, and you play Ole Miss and you go to Florida State. And that Florida State game is winnable.
Oh,
and that puts him
lose that game.
That puts him at bowl eligibility, and I think that's a huge win for Napier. And they're all young, Nebraska should be looking like Florida does now, and Nebraska is trending the wrong way, and Florida is trending upward.
Who does Nebraska have this week?
I
forgot.
Gosh, I looked at it too.
I did too. So yeah, Florida's in game is Ole Miss, and then they go to Florida State, which is like 3 hours away.
All right, quick update. Thunder losing by 14 to the Spurs.
How?
It's a bad loss for them, to be honest.
The hell just happened?
Yeah,
we were just watching that game.
98-84. No, I mean, they just, probably, I can't imagine their free throw percentage looks like probably hammered shit's what they're doing.
What was I looking at Nebraska?
Anyway.
Nebraska's ending with Wisconsin. That was the game. Yeah,
and Wisconsin has played better.
Decent.
Yes.
They
what
played.
is Nebraska's record right now?
2-5, 5-5 overall.
They might not get one, and
they've got Wisconsin and Iowa left.
That's a big game for them against Wisconsin because they need that win to get bowl eligible. And we've been talking about them, I don't know, ever getting bowl eligible. What's USC got? I think they play UCLA, which is going to be a win. I know they
Notre Dame. It's Notre Dame and UCLA.
Okay, so they'll beat UCLA.
Yeah, they should beat UCLA. Except UCLA's been a weird surprise team that just pops out
at times.
I know that's what I'm saying. They pop out of nowhere, and then disappear. Now, the Big 12 is about to be in a big controversy. I'm gonna say that right now.
What do you got?
Who goes in? Do you think that Colorado's going to...
Yeah, the winner of the Big 12 championship goes in. Simple as that.
But do you think they're going to beat the brakes off of them and BYU's going to get left out?
Yeah, I think BYU's done. Because I have a sneaking suspicion Arizona State beats BYU.
That's possible.
This week.
But you look at the 4 ranked teams for the Big 12. 14, 16, 21, 22.
Now, is that current rankings?
That's current rankings. Because current rankings always come out Sunday.
14. There you go. Yeah.
The current rankings always come out. They have one loss. They lost to this weird Kansas team that nobody seems to understand.
They've looked better late in the year than they've looked forever. Yeah.
Beginning of the season where we thought they were supposed to be. They're now where they should be. But they're not where we wanted them to be.
They're going to be Big 12 spoilers.
Yeah. Who's their last 2 games? They have.
They beat Iowa State.
They have Colorado and Baylor. So, what happens if they beat Colorado? What's going to happen there?
Yeah, that would make it interesting.
It's an old school. It's an old Big 12 rivalry game.
Is it?
It's an old Big 8 rivalry game.
It's at Colorado, isn't it, though? I think it's pretty much at Colorado.
Oh, I thought it was it.
And speaking of that, I've got a little trivia for you when we talk about college after we finish up. So 4 Owls, or there's 4 teams in Division I that are called the Owls.
Okay.
And all 4 of them this year.
No, Colorado's at home.
Okay, so that's probably, I would give that a win. All 4 of the Owl teams this year fired their coaches. Can you name, and I could name
Florida
3.
Atlantic really fired their team?
Herman.
Or Florida International?
No, it's Atlantic.
Florida
You got it
Atlantic.
right. Tom Herman got canned. Yes.
He really did.
Yes.
Was it because, did he get canned because of that screaming fit that he threw?
No, that was before that, but I mean, he just lost.
No, I mean,
he's not any good.
He went after, I forgot what
So
that
you got
coach
the
was.
Owls. You got
And that coach
4
was,
Owls.
there was shit from last season that coach was pissed off about.
Yeah. I remember that. Yes.
And so
yes.
Tom Herman came over to shake his hand. The guy
Tom
was
Herman's
just
a douchebag.
Well, yeah.
He is a douchebag.
All right, so Temple Owls.
Yes. Fired their coach.
Florida, really? Oh, that's right. I saw that today. God.
One I did not know.
This is all Division One, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let me just go ahead and look at the team names.
No, don't you do that.
Well, I've already got that one. Oh, Rice.
and Temple,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
You got
Rice.
3, and the 4th one I didn't get. I don't think you will.
You see all 3 of them are right there?
Yes.
Florida Atlantic,
Yeah.
Temple, and
Yeah.
Rice are all in the same,
Yeah.
are all in the
and all
AAC.
coaches are fired. Kennesaw State fired their coach.
Okay,
even though
Kennesaw State's first year in that, second year.
Even though they won this random game. I think it was
saw
last
that.
week or the week
I
before.
did see that. No, it was Temple. It was the Temple one I was looking at. Coach got fired for winning the overtime.
Yes. Of course, the headline there is OU versus Bama.
So as Native Americans, don't be fans of owls.
Perfect opportunity for Milroe to boost Heisman odds is what they say about headline for this week's.
It is. He's gonna have to play a near perfect game, and God, I still can't believe this. So Miami Hurricanes is sitting at number 8.
ACC's gonna be.
They're
fun,
number
too.
3 in the division.
I know.
SMU and Clemson are both sitting above them.
I know. It's crazy. And they're the team that everyone's waiting for them just to fail.
And then, well, here's the waiting to fail. Here's what I'm looking forward to. Indiana, Ohio State's coming up this weekend.
Big noon kickoff. Sadly, that fucking game is that Indiana? It's at Indiana, is it
I
not?
believe it's at Indiana. We jump in here.
Yeah, check that. Is it the biggest game?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it's at Ohio State.
So Indiana's biggest game's at Ohio State, and the sumbitches got to play at 11 a.m.
It's so bad when they do that to them.
Well, no, I mean that game should be prime time, but Fox
That's what I'm
runs
saying.
that, and
I
that's
know.
why I'm so glad that we are out of that shit.
So you've got Big Ten, you've got Oregon, and Indiana sitting undefeated.
Oregon will not lose another game until the championship.
They just hate Dylan Gabriel.
No, I just say I didn't.
Dan Lanning.
They just won't. They won't win. I mean, lose. Sorry.
So Indiana has the toughest challenge of their season coming in with Ohio State, who is the technical number 2 team. And Indiana has done a hell of a job building themselves up to number 5.
Sure.
I don't believe that Penn State should be in above them. I believe that even with Indiana, if they lose this game, that Indiana is still a better team than Penn State.
Well, I think though that you look at what Indiana has beaten. They've beaten Maryland, Northwestern, Nebraska, Washington, Michigan State, Michigan. Barely. Just they haven't beat anybody. Ohio State. Hey, listen. Ohio State beats them when we shut this.
What is earlier in the season?
We shut all this shit down, dude. I mean, it's done. Indiana loses to Ohio State, and we don't have to talk about Indiana anymore.
Why are you so against Indiana?
So Ohio State, Oregon.
But I think Indiana's a better team than Penn State.
I didn't say that. I don't disagree with you there. But I'm saying when Ohio State beats Indiana, it just doesn't matter anymore.
Which is is just gonna knock them out of the national title.
Yeah, and so you're gonna have Ohio State and Oregon playing the ACC champion or the Big Ten championship, and then both of them get in the playoff. There.
All right, we move to Kenny's Fighting
Yeah,
Irish.
because third place is out there.
Who we need Notre Dame to lose their last 2 games, or at least one of their last 2.
No, we don't need them losing to USC. That's a fact.
Why?
I'll pass. USC losing is
I'd rather
always
USC
nice.
beat them.
No, they won't lose the other one to USC. Now, no, that makes them
Navy
eligible.
or Army is their next game.
And it's not going to be an easy game. Game day should be at that one. That's going to be more interesting than Ohio State.
That would actually be a great game day.
That is going to be more interesting than Ohio
that
State,
at the
Indiana.
Cadets?
I promise you. I
that's-
promise you, people. Mark it down. No,
it's,
slap
it's
a label
it's
on it.
in South Bend.
Ohio State, Indiana game is not going to be good. It's just not. The talent will outweigh. It'll be, 17-10 halftime. Final score 34-17.
All right, so we moved on to Army Notre Dame.
Yes.
Army's undefeated currently.
No, they're not.
I thought they were.
No.
I thought they were still undefeated. Hold on, let's scroll back. Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Navy's the one that's dropped 3.
Navy was the one. Yes.
Yeah, so Army is still undefeated.
Yes, that was the one that I thought should have been game day to myself.
So Army and Notre Dame.
What time is that game on? Actually, that'll be
you can
that would be the game that I.
snoogle
That is the one I want to be watching.
And remember, Boise State still has to play
6 o'clock.
PM.
Yeah. 6.
So you remember Boise
They ain't
State?
playing at AM on Channel 2.
I don't know. You got the NFL playing in fucking.
No,
Europe.
Boise's gonna.
You got Boise, who does still have the UNLV Rebels left on their schedule.
Yes, that will be one of the later games.
Yeah, it's definitely later.
Was that be the last one? Click on their schedule.
It's second to last. If I saw it
and
earlier.
Who else do they play?
If I saw it correctly, they had. Oh, I thought they had.
No, they already beat them. That's
okay.
right. Yeah.
They got Wyoming and Oregon State.
Winner. So they're undefeated. Or what was their one loss? Go back to their one loss. Shit.
Oh, God damn it.
I forgot. Sorry, my fault. Now I'm thinking about it was a non-conference and it was like 3 points.
It was Oregon.
Oregon?
Wasn't it?
I think it was Oregon, right?
Yeah, it was
yes,
Oregon.
3 points. Yes. Yeah. So they're in. Boise's in. I'm just letting you know.
Don't
They're
even
in.
let me know.
They're
How
in.
about you just don't let me know?
They're in.
How about you just keep it to yourself and just.
They are in.
All right, Pac-12 conference. Currently, Washington State and Oregon State are setting at 0-0 because they have not played each other, and they're the only 2 damn teams in there. All right, SEC. This is what we're looking at. How many ranked teams do you have? How many ranked teams should you have?
Well, Missouri shouldn't be ranked. They're trash.
We know, and that's been a bone of contention with a lot of conferences.
And the funny thing is
a 3
Tennessee
loss.
is really close, but not that good. A&M is going to play. God, who do they play
Georgia.
this week? No.
Oh.
They play somebody soft this week. Auburn.
They close with.
I think they play
Longhorns.
Auburn this week, and they close with the Longhorns. And that's going to be the game days already prepping for that next week. I promise you, they're already there.
Dude, Georgia still has to play Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Georgia looks good. But here's the deal. Do you want in?
Alabama still has Auburn.
You can set out the SEC championship and still get in the playoff, which is nuts.
Oh,
You
absolutely,
could be that 13.
absolutely. You were already showing that Texas A&M, Longhorns, A&M, Bulldogs, Volunteers, the Tide, the Rebels, and not the Gamecocks, but up to the Rebels. They're showing that any one of those teams can get in.
Correct.
So Longhorns, Aggies, Bulldogs, Volunteers, Crimson Tide, and
Kentucky
and
comes
Rebels.
to Kentucky comes to Texas this week.
They're
Kentucky
already
has
calling
an
for
okay
Stoops'
defense,
head.
but it's going to be a big win for Texas. And then you go to A&M, and that's
How
the
do
thing.
you not call for Stoops' head after he tries to abandon you for A&M?
I don't think he did. I think he was.
He was on the plane. They told him not to get off the plane.
They ain't firing him. There ain't. What are you gonna do
Who,
better
Kentucky?
at?
I don't know.
Nobody exactly.
I don't know, but that's that's the
So
way.
Georgia and Georgia Tech. Who is the other one they play? They've got somebody. UMass. Okay, cool. So Georgia's sitting there.
Yeah. Everybody in
No
the SEC.
worries
I don't know if you
there.
realize. I think everybody in the SEC played UMass this
Of
year.
course, Bama's got OU and Tennessee was the one.
Bama's got OU and Auburn.
Who's Tennessee?
Tennessee has not Louisville. that's
UTEP,
Kentucky.
big one this week, and Vanderbilt.
And
Okay,
Vandy.
so that-
Vandy's
they're-
the ender. And Vandy could.
No.
Diego, you don't have any. You don't have any. You don't have anything for Diego.
Nope, that's how it's going to end
think
right there at the
Diego's-
top, and it's
You think
somebody's going to yes. Texas has not beat a ranked opponent this year.
I have gotten him.
They have not beat a ranked opponent.
Okay. Well,
Period.
they've only played one ranked opponent.
Okay, and they lost.
Well, no,
That
I
was
got
Georgia, right? Yeah, they had the
Georgia.
softest schedule in the SEC.
Were we still ranked when we played them?
No.
We were already
no.
up?
No, we'd already. No.
Yeah.
Trash.
You know, it's weird not seeing Vandy down there at the bottom of that. So,
Nope, just us.
all right.
All right, anything else?
No, I don't know about the upcoming. Let's go look at the upcoming.
Love this time of year. And it's funny is how fast it's went.
Well, you know, I love this time of year.
Two more games, and it's the fastest.
I love this time.
12 weeks
I
of
love
your
this
life.
time of year too. But it's so hard to get a beat on these teams right now. Like,
Well, that's what they want.
and that's what's
They're
happening.
getting it for sure.
They are definitely getting. We're definitely getting our money's worth for our football.
104.96 current. Thunder still down by 8. They're trying to make a comeback. Not going to happen. 3 minutes left.
All right. Oh, Cleveland finally got their first loss. And it was 120, 117, not 119 like I thought it was.
Gotcha.
Yes. And,
Those are the best. Those are the best two teams in the East for sure.
Absolutely.
By far.
And
Thunder
then
healthy are the best team.
This comes in with a Chet Holmgren argument.
But-
Argument?
Well, no, I mean it was. I mean,
It's the Chet
There's some-
Holmgren argument.
there's some injury there, and it's
Yeah, there's nothing really exciting, and let's just see.
tonight was the
what's
kind.
happening in hockey.
Tomorrow night is a good game. Bruins coach got fired.
I saw
did
that.
see that.
Very
That was-
surprised by
that.
that.
Was breaking news.
Blackhawks lost in regulation to the fucking Ducks.
Anything? Yeah, just go down through that real quick.
Oilers,
Don't see any.
Edmonton at 10-8-2
Very
now.
average. The Penguins look like our Penguins insider said they're getting ready to sell everything. The Wild look
Really?
good. Yeah, I guess it's going to be a sell.
Winnipeg beat one of the top teams in the.
Winnipeg looks good, don't they?
Winnipeg is fucking.
Yes,
oh,
yes.
I've always been a Winnipeg Jets fan.
And the Wild too. They're back.
Are
All right.
they?
Anything
They're
else?
somewhere. No, not really. Oh, congratulations to Oklahoma State's D1 soccer team. We did not talk about the upcoming games for Tulsa or Oklahoma State.
Oh, Oklahoma State's bad. There's been a lot of drama there. It's senior night. It's Texas Tech. It's going to be senior night OSU. The Gundy thing is he's going to get one more year.
You think he's got one more?
No. Here's the deal with Oklahoma football in general. Every coach has got one more year after this.
Every coach.
Tulsa, OSU, OU. They've got one more year.
But hey, congratulations to the women's Oklahoma State women's soccer team. They did make it to the tournament.
Yep, and number 9 OU women's basketball won tonight by 30 against Wichita State. So good. Pay that woman. Women's sports at OU is dominating.
Very
the men's.
dominant. I saw
And
the softball stuff. Did you watch any of the softball?
I did. I haven't watched.
Oh,
it
it's
yet.
great.
The but
beating up on
Jenny
each other.
Brazenek, hell of a hire.
And we got a great
need-
picture. We got a
they
great
need
picture
to-
for the women's
Yes.
softball too.
It's going to be an interesting season for that. But the basketball
See
team.
if Kenny calls it like, oh, they're going to be horrible again.
No, I
They
didn't
go
say
on to win the
horrible. I
title.
said I didn't think they'd win the title,
They're
and
gonna
they
win the
proved me wrong. All right. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Are we still scheduling a
We'll
Tulsa hockey game?
I don't know. We'll talk
Oilers
about that.
hockey?
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Some Oilers hockey.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep our gambling degeneracy up, and you all have a very good evening.
See you. Thanks.
Bye. I don't know where the screen is.